let's get started on our mandala. And yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's start today with a spiral. And just, start off remembering to be conscious of our line work. Hey Patricia, thanks for joining. So just, being conscious of our start and stop points on our line work. Staying mindful as we draw along. Okay, let's see. Let's I want to make some circles going around my spiral. So don't worry if your circles look all squished or uneven or wobbly. We're not even going to worry about that. Just draw them best you can going around. Hey Diane. Hey Elim, is that how you pronounce your name? Sorry if I'm butchering it. Thanks everybody for joining in, watching along, or hopefully you're actually drawing along with me today. Let's go and let's make in between these circles, let's make like a little teardrop shape or a petal shape. And remembering to turn our paper so we can make better shapes and we can keep our wrist healthy so we're not contorting it all over and trying to make our mandala shapes. Wow, my little teardrop shapes are all over the place today, aren't they? Just another way to emphasize that we are not worrying about being perfect at all. Hey Amy, thanks for joining. Yeah, we're not worried about being perfect at all. Remember, this is not what this is about. This is about having some mindful time, a little alternative kind of meditation, getting some clarity, just having that focus on the task. Maybe you need to kind of, relieve some anxiety. This is really good for that too. Maybe you need to spark a little creativity. Mandalas are really great for sparking some creativity if you're having some kind of blocks. Let's see. I'm going to, from the top of each of these little teardrops, I'm going to make kind of like an inverted triangle shape. So I'm going to just like kind of make myself a guide up here, just a little dot that will help guide so my eye can more easily guide my hand and where it needs to go. And I'm going to make just kind of a like a concave triangle or a kind of, curved in sort of triangle. And do that all the way around. Keeping very mindful of our lines. For those that are new, I always talk about having a start and stop point. And this is just to really, make sure that we're keeping very focused on our line work. And by doing that, we actually, when you put your pen down, you have a start point, and then you draw your line, and then you have a definite stop point. So you don't, need to say those things out loud or move in slow motion, just as long as, that is in your mind as you're making your shapes, so that you're really, paying attention to the lines and the shapes that you're making. So let's go ahead and just continue those around. And you can see I stopped making my little guides in the middle, but you can go ahead and do that if it's easier for you. There we go. And let's see. How about if, let's make, okay, what I want to do is I want to make like a half circle, sort of in between these segments here. So I'm just going to like draw kind of like a cup or a bowl. And then I'm going to just cap that off like this. So in each section, just fit your bowl into the size, which like mine will probably be different for each one, since we're not measuring and using compasses and rulers and things. Our shapes are going to be different sizes, and that's okay. So just continue those around, fitting them into the space. And let's see, what should we do next? Let's make, what shall we do? You know what I'm going to do? I want to go ahead and make from just the top of these shapes here, the little points that are coming up from these triangles. I'm going to make a, let's see, what should I make? Let's make one of my little chubby triangles going up. So we're almost creating like a secondary shape here when we do that. And if you want to make a little guide for yourself, you can go ahead and do that. Just kind of bend those lines around to make kind of that chubby triangle shape that I always like to make. There we go. A couple more of these. All right, last one. And now, what shall we do? Why don't we make another teardrops coming up? So just from in between here, let's make a teardrops coming up. And I'm making it like, you know, taller than these shapes here. You can make yours the same size. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. Just filling in spaces, making shapes. I don't go into these with a plan. I just kind of, whatever strikes me or feels right as I'm making them is what I do. So if you want to change it up, feel free. Remember to turn your paper. Remember to keep conscious of your start and stop points. Let's see, what should we do next? I want to, I think, actually I'm going to kind of put some floating teardrops in, or little petals. So just in between this space here, I just want to do like a little petals. And they kind of have a little bend to them. Like little tiny leaf shapes or petal shapes. And doing these floating shapes like this, it's, you know, they are likely to be all different and land in different spots around as you go around. And that's okay. When I'm doing organic shapes like this, I kind of like when they are all a little bit different because it feels more natural. Like when we have very organic shapes, botanical shapes and things, obviously they're not going to be all identical, right? It gives them more character. Here we go. Let's see, what should we do next? Let's take and I'm going to make like a really skinny kind of leaf shape going straight up from the point of our chubby triangle. And just continue that around. Remembering your start, stop, start, stop. There we go. And let's see, what should we do next? I think I'm going to kind of contain this mandala. It's starting to just kind of disperse out. And while that could be a really cool effect, if you just keep making the shapes further and further apart, you get kind of like almost a scattered feeling. And I'm actually thinking of if we want to do that now, or if I want to contain. Let's go ahead and contain. They're doing that scattered thing can kind of look cool, but it also can be very confusing as you go around and the shapes go out more. So it's not really great for people who have never done mandalas before. So we'll stick to a little bit simpler. So I'm just going to go from like sort of the upper portion of these little leaf shapes and just make kind of a semicircle, just so that I can join one to the next. And that'll kind of bring us back into a nice round mandala shape. There we go. And so let's, I know what I want to do is I want to put some like little petals on the inside of this shape. So I'm going to start down here since it's a little bit easier to make petals going upward. And I'm just going to make some little kind of flat and wide petals going around on the east side of this line. And that'll just fill that space in a little bit. Give it an extra element around there. And I'm just making a little bit bigger because it's a lot of space to cover, so if you make them too small, it's going to take quite a while to fill all the way around. And be very careful on these type of shapes. When you do a lot of repeated shapes like this, it's very easy to forget to pay attention to our lines and start to get in a hurry and just kind of lose focus on the task and the mindfulness of our lines. So really in your head, just keep reminding yourself, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. There we go. Let's see. I am going to put a circle on the top of each of these shapes. Oh, Katie, thanks for joining in. On the tail end of the mandala, but I always save them if you want to draw it later. It'll just be on my timeline or in my photo album on my main profile. Okay, and then then what else we can do is we can kind of make some smaller ones around. That'll just give us kind of like a little border going around. Turning my paper. It's really important to turn your paper just so you don't have this problem with your wrist. These tendons in here can get really sore after doing a whole mandala if you're, contorting your arm around a bit. Katie, happy you're catching me again. Yes, I'm happy you're catching me again too. I got an app on my tablet for drawing mandalas. Since what? Yeah, did you get a Amasiograph? I think that's the one. I actually have that one. It's really fun to play with. It doesn't have quite the same benefits for mindfulness and things like that as doing them by hand, but it is very relaxing to do them and really a lot of fun. I play with them a lot, and they've actually made that's the app you're using, they've actually made it a lot better recently. You have a lot more options to make the mandalas. And you can make, mini mandalas on one sheet if you kind of move the focus point around, because the little grid thing, you can move the center point of the grid thing all around. I don't know if you know that, to make mini mandalas on the same page. So that's really cool. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I need to go. So it's about what should we do to finish up here? I have about a minute left. Let's see. I'm going to put in some circles in here. Kind of have a circle theme going in this one. And let's see, we can put kind of just a couple things to fill in. Let's see, what else can we do to fill in? Let's take just from the center of here and kind of draw down. Just kind of make sort of curved lines going and filling this space. Just however many fit. Let's see. I think I need to pop off. So still a bit more to fill in. You can definitely just take it from here and use your imagination. And Katie, yeah, I have to look at that. Yeah. Is it Amasiograph that you're using or a different one? I know there's several ones, but the Amasiograph is really, really a good one. Anyway, okay. That's it. If you have made a mandala or you're making one on replay, post a pic of it in the comments. I would love to see. And please share this video. I would love to reach as many people as possible to learn to make these meditation mandalas, or to just even follow along and watch me. It's also very, very relaxing. And oh, Katie, you are very welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm glad that it helps and people are enjoying them. But that's it. I need to rush off. Thank you again, everybody, for joining me. Remember, I save all the videos here and also on my YouTube channel. I have a playlist. My YouTube channel is just Deb Sormano Art. There's a playlist called DAMM Videos with all of them on there. And yeah, everybody have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.